Hey, what is up guys? So we are going to be going over the Bujin hype that's currently going around now, and from this video you'll be able to understand if it's a good idea to invest into Bujins or just simply hold off and wait for later, or if you're a person interested in like making a profit off this game, I'll tell you about some of the cards that you can actually make a profit off. So let's go ahead and jump right into it. We'll talk about the Bujin archetype a little bit, then we're going to be talking about the tech cards they play, what this deck essentially loses to, as well as what's coming out in the future to support the Bujin archetype. So let's jump right into it with a few simple combos and explanations of the deck. So basically how the deck plays, it revolves around just getting out the Yamato as it stands right now. We'll get into some of the cards that are coming out later on, but as it stands right now, it's basically you need to open up with Yamato relatively quick, otherwise the deck falls apart very, very fast. You have a lot of cards that you're not able to activate because you need a Bujin Beast Warrior monster, and there's pretty much only one that you will play at the moment. So they play this game where it's just get out Bujin Yamato and then use this card basically as a Honest, or basically it's like a stronger Kalut, because Honest technically beats everything, whereas, you know, Bujin would still lose to something like a five-headed dragon or something like that, something absurd for attack, or like Malefics or something, because that is also a relevant deck as well, because, you know, heavy is gone. So the way this deck plays is, like I said, it plays this game where it gets out the Yamato and it tries to protect Yamato as much as possible and for as long as possible. If this card survives within, for like I'd say 3 turns, you usually have a huge advantage, whoever's playing the Bujin deck. But basically every turn they're going to end phase and they're going to either add the Crane to their hand, or that means that they have Crane in their hand. So basically you're not looking to attack over the Bujin monster. You're always going to end up failing unless they happen to have like a super awful hand. And during the end phase, I mean, like I said, they're always going to go for Crane anyways. Next up they have this card Turtle, which basically makes it so if you target the Bujin monster, they can banish it and it stops it. The only problem with this card is, you know, your opponent totally sees it coming. If I'm going to summon my Dark Arm Dragon, you have a Bujin Turtle. The thing is, like, I know that you have Turtle, so I might not even, you know, summon my Dark Arm Dragon that turn. I might wait and, you know, do something later on. But the thing with the Bujin Turtle is if you can only banish it from your hand, it'd make it so much better, and that is the real problem I have with the Bujin Turtle. But, you know, it's a decent card, and, you know, usually decks play 1 to 2 of these. Next up we have Bujin, the QUILIN. This thing looks ridiculous. It's got like a sword for a face, but anyways, this card's okay. You know, usually people are playing like 2. I don't really see anyone really running 3, but you know, it's not like a bad card at 3. It's just you know, a card where it basically destroys one face-up monster. At the current game, the way that Bujins play right now, there isn't really much of a discard outlet other than you have your Yamato to really just get rid of your cards. In the OCG, however, they're main decking Lightning Vortexes. They're doing Regeki Break, but that's always been a card for the OCG. They're like in love with Regeki Break. So, like I said, there's not very many good cards you can discard. Maybe if you want to play like Magic Jammer or something like that. But generally, I think that Regeki Break is an excellent card, especially early on in the game. I mean, this card's not really going to do much for you if you don't have Yamato. So, just, you know, throwing it in the graveyard is not bad to set up for later, and you get, you know, Regeki Break is not a bad card. Other cards that they play are the Sword, which is basically like a really good chainable card if they, you know, destroy it when it's face down. Other cards that they're taking in is Horn of the Phantom Beast. If you have Super Horn of the Phantom Beast, it's not bad to just hold on to them or pick them up if you don't have any of them. I don't see this card actually going down in price. It can actually go up because TG's is a very popular deck. TG has topped multiple YCSs, and now that we have Striker at 2, Heavy is gone, the deck is looking pretty good. And that deck, you know, with the creature swaps and stuff, you know, it can do pretty good against a lot of meta decks, especially since you can have so much back row this format. Next up, a lot of cards people are attacking in VANITY'S. EMPTINESS. This is a pretty decent card. However, with Heavy gone, everyone's doing triple MST, and, you know, MST, you know, something, and then VANITY EMPTINESS is also going to be going away. I think this card is much better. It's called KAISER COLOSSEUM. I've seen a few people play it. Basically, what it means is if you have one monster on the field and you're the one that has KAISER COLOSSEUM, your opponent can't get out 2 monsters. They can only get out 1 monster. They basically can't get out more monsters than exceeds the number that you actually control. So that means no synchro summoning, no XYZ summoning. So it's a fantastic card in Bujins. Bujins, like I say, play the game of just keep Yamato alive as long as possible. So let's go ahead and talk about what the deck actually can lose to. So the deck loses to this card like so hard it's not even funny. Basically, if this attacks, you can't activate any of your trap cards, and you can't drop the Bujin Honest. So that hurts a lot. And there's really very few things that they can do other than this card, which is basically their instant, you know, one card to make a quick XYZ. Although technically they have to, you know, I've gone through a Bujin effect and then also banished a Bujin card. So it's a little bit of a slower card, but it's definitely a good card. And, you know, the card's relatively inexpensive at the moment. I mean, it's only a rare. But there's also the Catastor, which, you know, it hurts them because they can't drop the Bujin card on it. And, you know, that's basically what they do. They always just try to go for this. But I think that this card is much better because they can't activate Deep Prison or, you know, anything. They can't respond to the attack of Catastor, really is what it comes down to. But with Catastor, you don't have to worry about, like, Horn of the Phantom Beast or Lances or a lot of other things that, you know, you'd have to worry about. If your deck, however, can't run Catastor or Armades, what you can do enemy control, or basically just move the monster to defense position. You know, Book of Moon, that also is a fantastic card. Drak Guaiba, heck, I mean, basically this thing only has 200 defense. So it's very easy to run over. So yeah, Book of Moon, enemy controller, Drak Guaiba, at that point you basically win. If you basically get rid of Yamato and then you have like a Logia at that point, especially in a multiple back row format, it's going to be good if that attack goes through. Next up, if you really can't fit, I don't know how you couldn't fit enemy controller or Smashing Ground if you're having a problem, but you could always use good old Trap Hole. This card actually hurts them too. Like, it's kind of funny, but realistically it does hurt them quite a bit. So that's pretty much what is going to hurt Bujins. But let's go ahead and talk about the future of Bujins, because if you're investing into this, it's really not a bad investment. But I wouldn't recommend picking it up right now. Like I said, I feel like Yamato is a little bit too high of a price if you're actually looking to play this deck. Like I said, the deck is only going to get better, but the way it stands right now at the moment of this video, I feel like Yamato is kind of overpriced. I know the deck is, you know, it's a decent deck as of right now. It's not as great as it, you know, it will be in Shadow Specters. Plus, we'll talk about another card, which I'm not even sure what pack it's coming out in. But anyways, this is the other Bujin Beast Warrior that you're going to be needing in the deck, and it comes out in Shadow Spectre, so that's a card you'll be looking forward to. There's also this card, which actually pops spell and trap cards that can be face down. I know that the QUILIN can pop face up only, so keep that in mind as well. Also, there's this other rabbit card. And basically, when they target a Beast Warrior, I forgot the exact effect, but basically you just banish it and it comes back, so it keeps your cards alive. Plus, it is a light Beast Warrior, I believe. But yeah, this card, I'm not sure when it's going to come out, and it's like an attackable card. It's not like a card you need to play, whereas this card, yeah, you're going to probably need to play. This card's amazing in the deck. Also, there is oh shoot, I forgot what this one does. I apologize with this. Is this one? Maybe this one's the one that destroys spell and trap. I forgot exactly what the Bujin does. Alright, so I went ahead and just looked it up real quick because I forgot which one. So yeah, the Centipede is actually the one that destroys the spell and trap. The Bujin Yada over here, oh, it doesn't have its effect. But anyways, what it does is, I don't know why it's not showing it. Let me just hit F5 real quick. There we go. So when a Bujin Beast Warrior type monster you control is targeted for an attack by an opponent's monster, you can send this card from your hand to the graveyard, negate the attacking monster, and if you do, inflict damage to your opponent to equal half the monster's attack. That's a pretty decent effect because it keeps your Bujin alive. So what that comes down to is there's another way to actually play Bujins. It's kind of like a burn variant of Bujins. There's one where you can inflict piercing damage. There's ones where you can inflict damage by attacking directly. There's a whole bunch of different ways to actually play Bujins. I think more realistically, no one was going to try to actually make that burn one viable. I think the more competitive version is going to be the standard one where you just basically keep the Beast Warrior Bujin, whether it's this guy or whatever this guy gets named, or the main guy already, what is it, Yamato. So yeah, they're going to be just keeping the Yamato up for as much as possible, and that's the way the deck is currently going to look, and in the future that's about the same way it's going to look, although they're going to have this other card in addition to them. So like I said, the deck is definitely going to be better in the future, but I definitely think if you happen to be someone that is interested in selling cards, now is not a bad time to get rid of them, because I think that they'll drop in price, and then they might slightly go back up, but not to where they currently are right now. But anyways, I hope this information is going to be helpful for you guys, and if you have any other tech cards that I actually missed out that are great in the Bujin archetype, let me know in the comment section below, and maybe we can make a update to this video. I'll be interested in playing some Bujins later on, but the way the deck works, it doesn't really make plays. It kind of just makes these simple, you know, plays that are just really cookie cutter, where I prefer to run decks where it's all about, you know, playing out of different situations. But anyways, thanks for watching, guys. AsianEyes signing out.